Hey everyone,
Hey,
welcome to
everyone.
another edition of Dating God's Way on the good old Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. You guys come on into the room. We have started. Yes, we are at it again.
Impact, we at it again. Yes, yes, yes. I'm just sharing my stream really quickly. So glad to see everybody on tonight. Hey,
Hey,
Dre.
Brother Dre, good to see you. Hey, good evening, good evening.
Evening. Share
Come
our
on, you guys.
stream. Coming on in the room and share our stream tonight.
Let us know you are in here. Daughter T, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. Hey, hey. Wow, 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 wow. Y'all come on in here on Tuesday night as we date God's way.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be an exciting evening, fun-filled evening,
Fun-filled evening. Yes, yes, yes.
fun-filled evening. And
Mhm.
I'm going to surprise Pastor E with something tonight.
Oh,
It's going to be a surprise.
oh, okay.
It's going to be a surprise.
Mm.
Surprise.
Ooh. Mm. It's going to be a surprise.
It's going to be a surprise.
Wow. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready, but hey, guys, come on in the room. Share. Make sure
Come
you
on
subscribe
in.
also to our YouTube channel, Dating God's Way. You can catch us on Facebook. You might be on Facebook now, or you might be catching us on our YouTube channel, Dating God's Way, wherever you're catching us at tonight. So glad you are here. I'm actually going to share our YouTube channel with some people as well. So thanks for joining tonight. We're about to get into it. All right, let's go. Let's go.
All right, all right. Y'all in the room?
Stay in the room.
All right. Let's do an icebreaker tonight.
Oh,
Let's do an icebreaker tonight.
okay.
And can you see the screen here?
I can, yes, see the screen.
You can see the screen?
Yes.
All right.
The clearest, but I can see it.
So this is a compatibility test.
It's hard view. It's hard view everywhere, Tara.
Let me do this.
That's a little better. Get rid of that ad at the bottom.
I can't get rid of the
Come
ad.
on, IT. In the right corner, you can't click off.
I can't click off. No.
Go ahead.
All right.
All right. Click and share. All right, go ahead. I'm getting our
So
YouTube going. Go ahead.
let me see if we do it like this.
Okay, it's better. I can see better.
Okay. So
Okay.
what do you see when you look into your partner's eyes? What do you see?
A strong connection reflecting similar views of desire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Percentage wise, I don't know what these ads going to show because I don't know where I got this link from.
Lord.
Oh,
Cover.
yes. Percentage wise, about how much do you think you and your partner each give to the relationship? 100 to 0, 80 to 20, 60 to 40. It's hard to say. It fluctuates based on needs, but I think the relationship remains healthy, or 50-50.
I think we both put 100 in, so I'm going to say it's hard to say because we have a healthy relationship.
Do you share similar values with your current partner? Our heartbeat synchronized? Yes. We differ in political views, but our core values are similar.
For sure.
We share a few, but we come from very different backgrounds, or not at all.
I say we differ in political views, but our core values are the same. Ah,
How do you feel during intimacy in your romantic relationship?
okay.
You feel excited and pretty confident you've chosen the ideal mate.
Okay. Wow, this is a lot. I'm gonna go with
Thank you.
yeah,
1, 2,
boy,
3, 4, or 5.
yeah. Uh this is a lot for Dingos right now. I'm going with 2. Wow. Okay. Well, my son is in the room. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Describe your partner's personality type.
Patient. Very patient. You are
Yeah.
very patient.
Which of these would most improve your life?
Saving more money. You surprised by that, huh?
What is holding you back from your dreams?
Nothing. I'm free, child. Nothing. I'm free.
Well, I'm still at question 6. What's going on?
I don't know. If you don't feel connected now, do you honestly think you'll find love compatible in the future? What y'all saying?
If you don't feel connected.
Oh, no worries. We accomplished that mission a long time ago. Number 2. No worries. We good.
Okay, number 7.
How often do you disagree over money? Oh boy. Let's see. We're in between rarely and constantly. Oh, we are definitely opposites when it comes to spending and saving, but we don't disagree over it. I don't know.
No, we don't
Constantly. No, rarely.
I
rarely. Say rarely.
I don't allow disagreement over it.
No, we don't disagree over money. It's rarely.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. I don't allow disagreement. Like, money is what it is, and
that's correct.
And
what are your nicknames? I don't know. We have a lot of nicknames.
You can say babe.
Okay, yes, I use that one. That's good. All right, number 9. This is interesting. Online compatibility says, what do you consider quality time with your partner? Meaningful conversations that deepen our connection, for sure. When it comes to your relationship, what is your song? None of them. How deep is your love? How deep is your love?
I don't know that song.
It's okay. Dad, you didn't do this beforehand? My goodness. Now you have to put our ages. We have to put my age too. I'm 1 above you. Remember that. Oh. Oh, Dad. Dad. No, say nothing comes to mind. Click the link. Click the thing. My good Dad. Starbucks. Go faster. Starbucks. This is hilarious. Y'all, this is crazy, y'all. Child. Click all of them. There you go. Now. Oh, y'all. Now, this is what we're about to talk about now. Why didn't you try this out before you got into it? Okay, what happened? Poor Pastor. Because this ain't working. What did you get? Everybody is laughing at you, bro. It won't keep. No. What happened? What? That was hilarious. Did you try to refresh your screen?
Hey, Carlos, hey, sir.
Did you refresh your screen?
No, I'm done.
Okay, you over it.
I'm over it.
Refresh your screen.
Okay. Refresh.
That was hilarious. So what was you?
Look, and then they want to send me the quiz results in email. I am not giving them my email address.
Guess what? Sarah said, y'all a perfect match, boom. That's the answer.
That's the answer.
But what happened, Dad? So what was your whole thing with that? Give it to us.
I don't know. I just wanted to see what the online results were going to be.
Hilarious.
I just wanted to see.
Hilarious.
I just wanted to see what the internet says about us.
What the internet says about us. That's hilarious. We used to take those little tests all the time, didn't we, Boo?
Yeah, we
How
did.
cute is that?
You know, but isn't that how relationships sometimes are? It's like you want to know what others say about us
Hmm.
in the early, especially in the early
Let's get
stages.
into it. Yeah.
What do you think about us?
Yeah. Hmm.
I know
You want
like
to know
I
what
got
other
like a
people think about the
I
relationship?
know like I got a white t-shirt on, but I really got a Vision Impact shirt on.
Go
I
ahead.
don't I don't like my way my camera is zoomed. I mean,
You got to fix that another day. We're not doing that right now because you already spent time on the test. So let's get into it.
but it makes me have the big face though.
Let's go get into it.
Pastor E.
That's it.
All right. So, somebody brought up a question last week,
Okay, let's get in it.
and it led to this topic I want to talk about this evening.
Mm.
And this evening topic is relationship reluctancy.
Mm. Relationship reluctancy.
Relationship reluctancy.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
what are some of the what could be some of the components that keep people or keep some people reluctant in relationships
Hmm.
at various levels,
Stages. Yeah.
at various stages. Yeah,
Yeah. Because some people get start off strong, but then as the relationship goes along, they just get along to get along.
true.
Hmm. So relationship reluctancy. Why don't you go ahead and get our definition for reluctancy, Pastor, so we can make sure everybody know where we going tonight. You
Okay.
got that?
Yeah. So I said the relationship reluctancy definition.
Yeah.
But it is defined as, yeah, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Relationship reluctancy or the definition of
Reluctancy.
reluctant?
Yeah.
Okay, the definition of reluctant is unwillingness
Yep.
or feeling or showing aversion, hesitation, or unwillingness, reluctant to get involved.
Mm.
Reluctant to get involved. So
Yes.
some
So
hesitation.
unwilling or hesitant to get involved in the relationship.
Yeah.
Mm. All right. See, I'm about to cut up with this one.
Oh no.
Because why you get in a relationship with somebody and then you reluctant, though?
Well, for many reasons, I can imagine different reasons.
Yeah, I know you can. That's why we're about to get into it. Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, you can imagine many reasons, can't you?
I can imagine many reasons.
Okay, so let's get into it then.
So I'm sure that this is probably going to touch into like fear commitment type areas and stuff like that, and we'll dive into it a little bit and see what we can extract out of that, and we'll see how the night goes. But let's talk about it.
Let's get into it. Okay, so relationship reluctancy. Someone is unwilling or reluctant. Because I can't spell anything. Or no, not reluctant. I want to use reluctant. I want to use hesitant. So someone is hesitant to commit to the relationship and or what? Just be in a relationship, period.
Commit to the both, or unwilling to commit, unwilling to go all in the relationship, unwilling to go further in the relationship. But there's some areas that they're just reluctant in giving themselves in.
I mean, I do have to say that I find that this happens with men more than women, in my opinion, is that a lot of times you see in relationships, it seems like the woman gives a lot and the man is maybe having some reluctance in being willing to give of themselves in a relationship.
You know what? I would counter that. Not
Yes.
saying that that's, wrong or
Okay.
anything. I would just counter, and I would say that I believe that y'all hopping on, or just hopping on. I, I I would go out there and say, does a woman have hidden reluctancies that's not shown as, or that's not displayed as loud as the man's reluctancy is. So a man reluctancy, you can see his reluctancy as far as how far they would go into a relationship and stuff like that. But sometimes I believe like a woman's relationship can be hidden in how much she's willing to, if she's making a lot of money, how much she's willing to share, or whether it's her family, her finances, or whatever. So those reluctant areas.
I see. I see. Okay. 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 I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I think when we talk about the relationship reluctancy, I do think it's really important to get into then I hear you saying that with women, it can be specific areas that they're unwilling to let men into.
Yeah.
Right. And like those areas may be areas of like finances and or areas of like family and different things like that. And I would say that's largely based on a trust factor.
Okay.
Okay, from experience, like it's a trust factor, right? It's like I'm not going to let someone into a space where they can, I know many examples of women who open themselves up to men, even in the church, and then they literally took everything from them. They house, they like the whole thing. So I think some of the reluctancy sometimes with women is, being cheated on before and or maybe just using wisdom and not giving everything away so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as you talk about women, I think, well, I can't say I think, but I can imagine some of the men, I thinking and imagine it's the same thing. But I can imagine a man's reluctancy coming from the same places of experience, what they've seen, what they personally experienced, or hearing about someone else's experience, which causes them to be reluctant or display some kind of reluctancy in areas of their life.
I don't know, Pastor Will. I feel
It's not.
like
I don't believe it's inherent. I don't think we are. I
I
don't
feel like
think
it's a little
men.
different with
I
men.
don't. I don't think men are born with reluctancy in them. I think it comes from
Well,
somewhere.
well, I do think that there is more of a trait with a lot of men of like, it's this idea of playing a field. It's this idea of like when we have weddings and it's like the little thing and you gotta throw it. All the women want to catch the bouquet, but the men like, oh nah, don't throw that little thing to me about getting married. So I think it is deeper than that. Like,
But is that reluctancy or just admitting you ain't ready?
let's get into it. I mean, it's like, when are you gonna be ready? I'm just asking for a friend. I'm asking for my friends that's on this broadcast tonight. Like, when they gonna be ready? Because like that, to me, that keep being the issue. Is like, it's like they never seem ready. So
Sometimes when the
when
cows come
they be
home.
ready?
Sometimes when the cows come home.
Right. So that means that y'all play games. That's what I hear you saying.
No,
That men play games on these streets.
that's not.
No,
That's
that's
not
what I
what
hear
you
you
hear
saying.
me.
This is what I hear you saying. I hear you saying that exactly what Michelle's saying. Okay, men reluctant and be in a whole relationship. So I hear you saying that men play games. That's what I hear.
No, men. I don't believe men play games intentionally.
Oh, so it's unintentional playing of games with people's hearts.
I I don't think they would consider them playing games.
Right. That's the problem because they don't consider it playing games, even though they be playing games. This is what we talk about tonight. Relationship reluctancy.
I think I hate I hate to keep saying I think.
Right. Because it's a match without
Sometimes
saying you know it.
no, sometimes the weight of relationship is a lot to bear. And when you go into a relationship, your definition of the relationship is what weighs on how you show up, who you got to show up as. And so I think that may cause the relationship reluctancy on behalf of men.
I think that's some trash, in my opinion. It's and
It
I
sounded good.
it sounded great to you, but to us it did not sound great. I think that's I think that a lot of men who are emotionally unavailable is then if you are emotionally unavailable, why are you getting into relationship with people? If you are haven't learned to process what is happening in you, why you getting into relationships? Why you are using people for time and wasting people's time. You don't really want to be with anybody. You're not ready. But why you out in these streets faking ready if you're not ready?
Because all man, woman, everyone desire a relationship at some level. At some level.
Right. But your desire for relationship and your readiness needs to match. That's unfair to the other person if you have a desire, but you're unwilling to do what it takes to make sure, okay, let's look, I have a desire. I have a desire to lose 10 pounds. But for real, if I keep eating them potato chips, guess what's gonna happen? I'm not gonna lose them 10 pounds. So you have a desire to be in a relationship, but then you don't want to be emotionally available and healthy. Then you're not gonna fulfill that desire. You're gonna mess somebody's life up.
Right. And yeah, but both needs healing before going into a relationship. Absolutely. But yes, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you,
I know you're not.
but I think this is a real thing, relationship reluctancy. I really think this is a real thing in our communities that we see
Sure,
a lot.
for sure.
Um, for some reason, we are not seeing as many marriages happen because of some kind of reluctancy, whether um, they have seen divorce in their lives, or they've
Sure.
seen relationships go left, relationships they've been in went left, things of that nature. And so that's why I say I believe reluctancy comes from some kind of experience, if I can say that.
I think you can say it, but I think that it's not. I think that it can be accurate, but in some cases it's not. I think there is something innate in a lot of men that have believed some type of story about why they should be reluctant about relationships. And I think it not only in the dating stage, but it carries over into the marriage stage. That even after they marry women, they still are reluctant to be 100% in. And I do think it's a problem in our community, but it may be a problem in other communities. But most of the people I know are Black people. So I can speak for Black people. I think that there is a inherent problem with something that they've been told about relationships that make them approach relationships in this reluctant way.
I like the way this one person put it. Relationship reluctancy is when one partner is ready and committed to doing the deep emotional work of improving a relationship, and the other partner is not quite there yet.
Mm,
It can feel like a difference that is impossible to bridge.
yeah.
What you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true, right? I think that this happens through marriage sometimes where that reluctancy is still there and or one person is all in, like that compatibility quiz asks us the question of like how much are you and your partner giving? Is it 100-0, 60-40, 80-20? I'm like, me and my partner giving 100-100. If my partner ain't giving 100, then we ain't doing it. That's my opinion. But I think there is that, even the quiz had nothing for both people giving 100%.
Yeah.
Because somewhere it's like some notion that the woman gives 100 and the man doesn't have to. I think that is a thing, Pastor.
Well, I think it's some notion that someone gives all and the other don't. Whether it's the
Sure.
you know
We can go
one
that
partner.
route. I've done enough murder counseling to say, in general, it has been in the way I'm saying.
Sure.
Look,
So let's talk about So let's talk about the stages of reluctancy, right? Or relationship.
Let's talk about it.
Or where we see it. So one of the things we have is, let's talk about relationship reluctancy before marriage, and how do you begin to see the early stages of reluctancy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, when we talk about early stages of reluctancy, let's get all the way to dating, right? I think there has to be some conversations about how all in, the all in needs to be even. Yeah. And I think that's important when we talk about relationship reluctancy. It's paying attention to some of those, as they would call it, red flags. If the person is unwilling to spend time, they always busy, they got something to do, and or you're a booty call, they call you only at night. Like, all of those are relationship reluctancies.
Yeah.
Right. It's like one person is fiending for something in a relationship, the other person is giving just a piece. And I think you start to see those things in the dating relationship.
And do we start to see those things? Lack of guidelines and boundaries, and
sure,
we are. Do one allow the other one to, or encourage the reluctance, or I'll say this, not encourage, enable the reluctance.
Enable the reluctancy, yeah. Enable the reluctancy. I remember when we was dating, and you was like, that's it, and you was like, you'll never want to be married, you ain't sharing your stuff with nobody, you don't want no wife and kids. At the end of the day, I was like, it's fine. It's fine.
That wasn't reluctancy.
Well, what was it then? Tell me what it was. What do you think it was?
That was protection.
Reluctancy.
That wasn't, I was willing to continue to date you. With the
hope of going nowhere?
We were going somewhere, but we got married. We got married.
No. I'm not talking. Don't jump to the marriage part. Let's stay in the reluctancy part, because you want to jump right to the result. But let's talk about how we got there. Let's talk about like the process of getting there, because you definitely started with reluctancy. You don't agree with that?
No, I don't. I didn't. I stayed in out about that. Nope.
What?
Nope.
So we wasn't in your little truck going to the movies to see that Jamie Foxx movie that was terrible.
It was a big truck. It was a Ford Explorer, 2-door sport.
On our way to the movies, and you was like, you're not sharing your stuff with nobody. You remember this conversation?
I remember the conversation.
So you don't remember then the process of your own reluctancy?
It wasn't reluctancy.
Well, what was it then?
It was setting boundaries.
I didn't even ask you to marry me. Setting boundaries with what? I just met you.
You start talking about marriage or something.
You is not. Oh my gosh, you're not saying anything true. I never talked about marriage, because first of all.
How did we get on a subject? I don't know. That was 22 years ago.
I remember how we got to the subject. You literally brought it up. That's why it's relationship reluctancy, because you literally out of nowhere. I remember telling my best friend, I was like, I never even talked to this dude about nothing, about want to marry him or nothing. He just out the blue, like, yeah, and I don't never want to be married. I don't want shit. I'm like, who, dude? I didn't even ask you about that. So your relationship reluctancy showed up very quickly.
We weren't even dating.
We weren't even dating. This is my point.
So I think No, no,
You
no,
was
no.
making
Okay,
my
okay, I
point.
get it. We were having a conversation.
Uh-huh.
And we were both sharing in the truck that day.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't reluctancy. I was just sharing with you.
Your reluctancy to
Now,
be in a
it wasn't
relationship,
reluctancy.
in a long-term relationship.
I was just sharing with you what my boundaries were.
Right. So let me just paint the picture. You grew up in a home with two parents. Your mom and dad were married for many years, and
Yeah, brother and sister.
still you had relationship reluctancy. I think this is a very important point we're making tonight for our
It
view.
wasn't reluctancy.
I think it was it was reluctancy, even though you are having a hard denial tonight. And I know you didn't see this going in this direction. I can see that now.
It wasn't reluctancy.
You didn't see this going. You didn't see this going in this direction tonight, but it is true. You had a huge reluctancy when we first started talking, not dating, talking.
It was boundaries.
Boundaries for somebody that wasn't even like after you.
It wasn't about it. It was.
What did you need boundaries for? Why did you need to protect yourself from someone who wasn't even after you?
It wasn't about it. We were having a conversation, and I was
just friends.
And we were just friends. We were just starting to be friends, and I was just.
What are you protecting yourself from?
We weren't dating. We were just talking and having a conversation.
Yeah.
And I expressed to you my heart. It wasn't reluctancy. It was just my heart. So let's keep going.
I think the point that I'm making with this tonight is that there are these spaces of maybe even things you have heard or things that have been stated to you, whether you're a man or a woman, that play into relationship reluctancy. And I agree with like Brother Dre, early on if somebody is the one, but you got to get through that relationship reluctancy. For men, they have to get through it in most cases.
True.
It's a fight, I believe, within yourself. Because nobody was saying nothing to you about all this stuff. I'm just saying.
We were just having a conversation. I was sharing my heart with you about.
Right. Well, why was reluctancy in your heart?
It wasn't reluctancy. It was boundaries.
Actually, yes. I think it's helpful for our viewers to hear, like, that even if you come from the most healthiest spaces, you can still have reluctancies and or not be as open or willing to open up your heart.
Yes.
But I will say this. I think once you get to the dating stage, if there is reluctancy, I do think you have to protect yourself. That is a protection space. Because if you the daughters laughing at you, Dad, if you come into a relationship and you continue to go on, like let's get to now 3 to 5 years. If you keep going on and on and someone is reluctant, now you're talking about a unevenness in the relationship. So somebody is going to get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Because that's going to continue, right? Somebody's always going to be given more.
Yeah.
So it got to be 100, 100.
It got to be 100, 100. And, the more the unwillingness fester or is there, the unwillingness, the more that is there, the more unbalanced the relationship becomes.
For sure. I wanted to, I think what it really gets into, I wanted to get into something tonight, Trying to find it right quick. Boom, boom, boom. It gets into this different expectations. And I do think that, this is the one, when we talk about expectations, I think that it is really, expectations can be where the unrealistic or the reluctancy comes from. If you have an expectation that, if you get into a relationship with somebody, they're going to take all your things. They're going to hurt you. They're going to require all of these things of you, right?
Yeah.
If that's where your reluctancy comes from, you're protecting yourself, you have boundaries, all of these things, then that is really it's a expectation that's coming from a place that doesn't exist yet. Like, this hasn't even happened yet. So you already have an expectation that something bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? If you enter into a relationship with those type of reluctancies, right? Like, if you enter into a relationship with, like, you already setting us up for divorce, my goodness. You already setting us up for, okay, if you cheat, then do. I'm just like, that reluctancy is already putting us at a disadvantage.
So that reluctancy, I hear you saying, that reluctancy could even be an unwillingness to forgive.
For sure. Forgive, maybe not even the person, but maybe your past. Maybe you are bringing past relationships into a new one. That you're bringing these hurts and pains and this that happened with this one, that one. You're bringing those things into a new relationship. So now you're reluctant in your relationship with somebody else.
Yeah.
It's unfair. It's an unfair space to bring another person into.
So true.
And so, like, when you got over the reluctancy, right? I think, the willingness then to put yourself in, right? I think that's going to then come with expectations. And I think that is one of the things, like communication and expectations.
Yeah.
I think that is the way you see if your partner is reluctant or not. How willing are they to set expectations and stand by them?
Well, I think, not only set expectations, stand by them, but how vulnerable is the partner at admitting their reluctancies?
Sure. Yeah.
To become vulnerable
That's
enough
good.
to be helped in those areas.
Yep.
To find trust in those areas of reluctancy. And would that reluctancy be an open door for an abuse?
Yeah.
Can I trust you enough to surrender my reluctancies to you?
So what stage of the relationship does that happen then? Or should that happen?
That's the trust stage. That's the gaining trust stage. We were axe throwing the other night, and talking about reluctancy. I was reluctant to stand behind you while you wielded that axe.
For sure, because I was crazy.
Because
I was throwing that joint like that. I was throwing it like it was a little, like it was a little twig outside.
Because you look so uncomfortable holding that axe.
Yes.
I was reluctant to stand behind you. But
I was not comfortable.
After you threw it a few times, I saw you gain confidence. And so standing behind you was not as I wasn't as nervous. And I stopped being nervous standing behind you because I knew you had control. You had control over your situation.
Yeah.
And that helped me to stop being reluctant to be behind you.
Yep.
So what's the revelation in that, or what's the what's the what's the meaning of that story? Is that like sometimes to gain trust is to see how you handle the places I'm not reluctant in.
Yeah.
Reluctant
Yeah. Yes. See how you handle the surface areas. And so I think that's also a piece, right? If you are willing to handle me in areas that are not vulnerable well, then maybe that person will be less reluctant. I agree with that.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, if you aggressive about everything, why you eat with your mouth open? It's like, my goodness. I don't
Right.
know. That's how I eat. If that were a thing, I think that some of that anxiety around can make people more reluctant. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Did you find what you were looking for? Because you still searching.
Oh, you can see my glasses.
Well, no, I just see your face. I know your searching face.
Oh my goodness. Don't know my searching face. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, also this becomes not just men and women, but also a issue of generations. You talked a little bit about how the generation now, people are less likely to get married. And so
Yeah.
I was looking at this here, you know, um, boomers, of course, were very focused on marriage, and Gen X, but once we get the millennials and Gen Z, like it just like shrinks like this. Like it became the phenomenon of marriage more non-traditional and or not as much. And so there has to be something about also maybe reluctancy due to like maybe experience, but also maybe also like future, like what that person wants for their future. Maybe marriage doesn't fit the picture.
Well, I would dare to say that generations before us, they married to build. They married to bring two finances together, or to, you
I
know,
don't know. I don't know. They break to bring one finance together. Think about it. In back in my grandma, most of the women didn't work.
yeah, and you gave the woman to the husband. So, and that's because you had to get out of the daddy's house, the
Right,
daddy and the mama's house,
right.
and so they gave you to, you know, the gentleman that would kind of take you. Um,
That sounds crazy. But
it
yeah,
sounds real crazy. But
yeah.
look at Color Purple.
Huh.
uh, but yeah, so but with that said, but the reasons for coming together before are so much different than they are now, because it's right now the thought of even coming together. Why come together when you can do everything on your own?
Sure. It's a different age.
Yeah,
It's a different age. I mean, in some cases, women make 3 times more than men in some cases now.
sure.
And it's a different age. And so how do you deal with those reluctancies where people may be reluctant because of status or things like that? Those are real things.
Yeah, and I think with that real thing, I'll say this. This is off topic, but I believe we allow money to become too instrumental in our lives, as far as making us who we are based on money and material and status like that, and it really has stripped us from who God created us to be in this earth as men and women, husband and wives.
I mean, look, you definitely had like the two check coming together thing. That you was definitely hard on that. Oh yeah, we're gonna have two checks coming together.
I was psyched. I was psyched out.
You was sized out. We gonna
I
have
was
these two
psyched out.
checks. I wasn't even making that much.
I
But
was
you was sized out like
I had dollars in my eyes.
so. but like you were very like on this how we gonna have 2 checks thing. But how, like, I guess, like, how do you let money not be a factor with reluctancy? Because it is hard, I think, once you particularly get past a certain point. Like once you get past a certain point, maybe that person gets to 6 figures, or that person now owns a home. Now that person is like all the things. How does that person not be reluctant? Because they feel like they've arrived somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. Like, you know, money can make you a king. It really can. In your eyes,
Sure.
it can. It
If that's what describes your kingdom, then sure.
when as you say, my reluctancy, because money made me a king. Like at that time, I I I just got a salary bump.
Yeah, in your IT job.
In my IT job, and to be at that time to be 25, I was doing all. I had a brand new truck. I think I was doing pretty good. And no woman was going to cipher off of me at the time of my coming uppance.
Reluctancy. Y'all see that? Now he admitted. Y'all see? Now he admits reluctancy.
It was the time of my coming uppance.
He said no woman is gonna cipher him. Come on. So now you admit it. You had reluctancy because you felt like you was balling.
Absolutely.
Now it comes out. Cause you felt like you was balling. So you like that. No, ain't no woman gonna get in between me and this right here that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so but now shoe on the other foot. Because women like that too now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you overcome that? How does a person overcome that money reluctancy? Because now they making money. Now they got it going on. Now they like, I'm in a great place. I have no debt. I'm in my prime place. Like,
it's going to be honestly, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. And it's no easy answer, but you're going to have to examine others' agendas for dating you.
I mean, I think that's a given, right? I mean, I think you have to look at the purpose in which why you want to be married. If you want to be married for a financial purpose and or so somebody can take care of you, right? We talked about this in our last seasons. Go back and watch. Like, if your purpose in getting married is for someone to take care of you, then money is a factor, and you just need to own that. That for you want somebody to take care of you. And see, from my perspective, I never wanted a man to take care of me. That's just true. Like, I appreciate all of the care that you have for me. I appreciate that. But that wasn't my, like, I needed you to take care of me. That's not, I didn't come from that space.
I seen this one video. And we losing viewers. Y'all come on back up in here.
Oh, Pastor.
I saw this one video where a young man or a husband went and encountered his wife, and he argued at his wife because his wife just quit her job. And he was upset that she quit her job. And she said, you said you the man of the house and you was going to take care of me. Then you got to be the man and take care of me while I clean the dishes, be the housewife and everything. And you go to, and that's why I quit my job, because I can't do it all. I can't be the housewife and go to an 8-hour job. I mean, and the guy was really upset because he was like, but you're supposed to clean and do all this stuff. And she was like, right. And you want me to go to work too? I'm not doing both. So I quit my job. And you probably gonna have to just get another job and take care of the house.
Huh. I mean, look, couldn't they have had that conversation? Some are reluctancies. Couldn't they have had that conversation prior?
They sure could have.
I mean, I just think that's communication and expectation. Communication and expectation is the whole thing of this conversation.
It is.
Right? It's like if you want to be the type of person that wants to have a husband that takes care of you, you need to say that, period. If you the type of man that want a wife that clean the house all up and down, all around, you need to say that. Like, that's just, it feels like common sense, but Pastor, it's not that common because they're not out here saying it. They're not telling each other the facts. I told you day one, I'm not doing it.
And I told you day two, if you don't work, we going to an apartment.
That's what he said. He said, it's fine. You ain't got to work. But if you don't work, we're going to live in this apartment because I ain't doing more than that.
I ain't getting 2 or 3 jobs. I ain't doing it.
That's what he said. And I said, I got to work because I got to eat my crabs every week for sure. Look, Kanisha wrote it there. She know it. I got to eat my crabs every week. I'm not going to be depending on you even no crab. Reluctancy.
Wow. This camera is going crazy. I don't know what's happening. I think I heard a motorcycle outside, so it's zoomed out.
It's you.
No, it's not me.
Reluctancy. Money reluctancy. I will say this though. Start with purpose. Stop getting out of reluctancy. Start with purpose. Why do you want to be married? Period.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be in a relationship with someone? If all of your answers tied to what they can do for you, you are not ready for a relationship.
If you are unmarried, you should give yourself a short quiz. Why do I want to be married?
Because if it's all about what that person could do for you, you ain't ready. Because life could happen and you could be the only one that has to do for both. That's true. Right? We both had times in our marriage, 23 coming up, we about to turn 23, where he was in the hospital. Okay, I had babies. I was in the hospital. Sometimes you the one holding it down. And if you don't start right, I think that reluctancy comes in too when you don't start right. You didn't start with the right conversation. You didn't start with the right expectations. When you don't start right, then you end wrong.
So here's a tip for me.
Go ahead.
Be committed to your own self. Be committed to your own self. Be committed to what you have promised yourself. Be committed to the words you have spoken to yourself. Don't be reluctant to your own self.
Go ahead. Don't be reluctant to your own self. Yeah, I mean, if you got dreams, you can do your own dreams. Somebody have to come into a relationship with you for you to get your dreams? I don't know, Pastor. It's kind of crazy a little bit.
Yeah.
Find your own happy first. Find your own happy before you look for somebody else to make you happy. Dating God's Way 101. Find your own happy.
Find your own happy.
So what do we get with reluctancy tonight? Should people be reluctant if they have a lot of money and stuff? Should they be reluctant? What you say? As someone who started reluctant, what you say?
I think you should be aware.
Okay, have awareness. I like that.
I think you should have awareness.
Yeah, I love that.
And I don't think reluctancy is the word. Well, I think you should be reluctant if your awareness informs you that you need to be reluctant. But being reluctant, as Pastor E said, as I was off the bat, that might have been a little wrong. A little wrong.
A lot of wrong. I was not out to hurt you. It was a lot of wrong.
it wasn't directed towards you. You know what, and I think at the time that we met, at that early stage, I may have been upset with women anyway.
You were.
Because
I remember.
I've been dogged out. I've been treated dirty.
Right, but now the next person has to have a confidence.
You were my next person. You were my friend. You were my best friend.
Oh, now you're gonna try to put it back. I see you now. I see you. I see you there now. Now you're gonna put it on that way. I see now. Yes, I see. Right, but I mean, you still prove the point of like your next has to now deal with your ex.
Say that again.
Your next has to now deal with your ex.
That's going on the real.
I mean, even if you can have awareness without reluctancy, because your awareness should lead you to boundaries, not reluctancy. If you get a red flag that somebody is a cheater, let me just give it all the way. You see his phone blowing up, women hitting it, her phone blowing up, men hitting it. Guess what you do? You don't be reluctant. You make boundaries. I'm out. You crazy. Yes or no? So that's not reluctancy. That's common sense. Get your tail out. Sometimes people being reluctant when they should get out. They don't get out with the little teacup. The little lady, she doing a little tea. The little she hypnotizing that little black man. Y'all know that one. You being reluctant when you need to get out. I said get out. That's true. Why you staying in and you see red flags? So sometimes it's not reluctancy. Get your tail out. What Pastor E say tonight, y'all? Get your tail out. Get out. Run. Thank you, Niche. Run. Get out. Shouldn't be a reluctancy. It should be a boundary. You agree with that, Pastor?
Hey, I'm total 100% agree with it.
Run, Joe. I got a little 80s on me tonight.
You must be getting ready for the Chuck Brown day.
They probably somebody to say something now. Chuck Brown hit me tonight. Run, Joe. Y'all need to run though, for real. Sometimes it's not reluctancy, it is running. For sure. Instability should make you run, not be reluctant. I mean, you got $10 and you spent all of those $10 and then you come to me every pay. We didn't got married yet. I'm just saying somebody. You can't hold $10 and then you come to me every time before you get paid and you need $10. That's instability. So that's not reluctancy. That's boundaries. Those are red flags. So I think it's important to know the difference between reluctancy and red flag. For sure. I like that. The ghost face.
Yeah, definitely. Reluctancy versus boundaries versus red flags. Or reluctancies, boundaries, and red flags.
That's it. Get out. Know when to run, and run. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to this last thing because it's time to go. I don't think money should be a reluctancy. If you marry someone, you should be all in. And if you cannot marry someone that you're all in with, don't get married. That's my opinion.
You know, Bishop said something last night.
Tell me what he said.
And it makes sense. He said, now, if you coming into a marriage where you got $1.8 million, you got something, then you probably should get,
If you come into a relationship and you got $1.8 million, don't marry nobody until you absolutely sure, period. I don't care if you got 1.8. I don't care if you got 500,000. I don't care if you got $2. If you don't trust that person, you don't trust them. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
Trust is trust. I don't know. I think it's a hard barrier to get over when you start with mistrust. If you got $1.8 million in the bank, maybe you don't need to be married. Because your money is that valuable to you that you just cannot imagine somebody taking some of it. Then you don't need to be married. That's my opinion. Because at some point, the money is going to become more of a value than the person. It's going to become a place of contention.
Yeah.
And you as somebody who really, you really about money for sure. You about that money life. Well, I'm like, look, I lived off of peanut butter and jelly and tuna fish.
Yeah, but
Noodles
yeah,
and noodles.
and I never lived off peanut butter, jellyfish, and noodles and tuna.
I
It's
did.
not my life, and so I'm always making sure that we are financially secure.
I appreciate that about you. I love that about you. But it can't ever be about money though.
It's about being financially secure.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. Reluctancy. This is why some people are reluctant. Anyway, y'all know what? We didn't ever tell people that they can ask questions because we forgot like people can ask questions on this show.
Well, last year they just kind of jumped in and jumped
Yeah.
on us.
But yeah, if y'all have questions, y'all always can ask them during our live studio time, or you can hit us up. You can hit us up on Dating God's Way, YouTube, Facebook, all the way around. We around.
Hey, look, this stream y'all take some money out of my bank account every month to keep it running.
$87, y'all.
So as you can see, you can
Speaking of
donate.
money.
You can donate to $ Willie.
Oh, you did ask a question?
On
Go
Cash
ahead.
App.
Somebody said they asked a question.
Come on, I did ask a question. Go to her question.
Where the question at? How we missed the question?
Okay.
No, that's not it. That's a
not
funny.
it?
That's a funny.
Okay.
I think that was a funny.
What about this one? What that one say?
Oh yeah, discussing finances at a stage. Yeah. So what stage should you discuss finances then?
How do I do that?
I don't know how you just did that. That's why I don't let you do this part. Let me go. Let me get into it.
I was just clicking and I was clicking.
Right. Don't be clicking.
Hide current comment. Okay.
All right. I got it. I'm here.
Yeah.
So what stage should you talk about finances then, Pastor?
Woo.
Woo. We talked about it pretty early, didn't we?
It depends on your sensibility about finances, right? I think we just talked about that. How sensitive are your finances, and at what level of comfortability are you ready to discuss your financial status and how you treat your money? Because I think it's fair it's fair to share how you treat money with your with the person that you are talking about marrying with, right?
I don't think you talk about money though until we serious.
Yeah,
like, we talking about like we're gonna talk about money when we're actually in a place where we're considering moving to a next stage with each other.
But I think your values should be on display of how you think about money. I think how you think about money is displayed even when we go out on a date or we go out to the bar. I see how you spend it. If somebody see you spending, they see how you think about money.
For sure.
They see your thoughts, they see your traits, they see your behavior. So when you when you say discuss finances, what do you mean by discussing finances at what level?
Yeah, I think that's what she's asking. And so I hear you saying that in the dating stage is the show. Now in our dating stage, I like eating steak and lobster.
And I fed you every night like a crazy guy.
I mean, I showed you where my level was from the beginning. So because I didn't want you to be surprised. I was doing it for you.
And I watched my little bank account dwindle and dwindle and dwindle.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. But you saw what you was getting into, and I think that's what his point is. During the dating stage, you can see kind of the person's habits, but once you get closer to talking about the, getting more serious, then I think you do start to talk about money habits. But I do think it's a caution telling people how much you make.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You wait on that, child.
For
Don't be telling
sure.
nobody how much you make till it's serious.
They don't know how much you'll bring home check it. No matter how much they disclose to you. Some things are just personal.
Yeah, be aware. Be aware. Particularly women, for sure. Be aware. Don't go out there telling everybody.
And if you get in a financial crunch, do not ask them for no money.
Reluctancy. Do not. Because once you do that, I mean, you've opened up yourself to another level of relationship. One is dangerous.
Yeah.
And I would be reluctant about somebody who asks me for money. I mean, I would be reluctant about that. This was good. I like this topic. Relationship reluctancy. Very interesting. Very interesting topic.
And if you got money and he come asking and he call you and you get the collect call from the county jail.
Child, go ahead, Pastor. County jail, child. So they don't accept the charges. I did not find Tara's question, y'all. I don't know where Tara's question went at, y'all.
Don't accept it the first time.
I don't know what happened to Tara's question.
And if there's a second time, maybe it's time to roll to get out. Like Pastor E said, get out.
Get out. Don't forget the little cup, y'all. He come acting crazy.
This is when you newly dating, guys. This is when you dating. I
don't care if you've been dating him for 5 years. If them red flags that came up, I said get out.
Yeah.
You know he crazy. Yeah. You know she crazy. Get out.
If it's been 5 years, then it's time to have that conversation. Like, okay, so where are we going with this? What are you doing with this? And why you haven't, and we haven't progressed no further than where we are.
I see. Okay, so this was Tara's question about if you haven't been, you said be committed to your own self. So what have you haven't been speaking will to yourself? Where does that put you into this situation?
Yeah, that's a good question. So
you got to do that self-work.
You got to do that self-work.
You got to do that work on self first. And that's definitely going to help with that reluctancy as well.
It's time to start speaking well to yourself.
Yeah. Time to get healed for yourself.
Being healed for yourself.
That's another reluctancy. Don't let nobody get healed for you.
Yeah.
You know what? We said something at Women's Book Club last night. I'm going to share this with y'all. Somebody who wants you to be better, right? Like that seems like a great thing. Like, oh yeah, I want you to go, get a new job, take yourself up to the next level. But what if that's not what the person wants? That could be controlling. So I think it is get yourself in the right space. Make sure you are healed and good so you know what you want. So nobody's not putting a one on you.
Yeah.
Relationship reluctancy. We out of here, Pastor. I gotta go eat dinner.
Family, dating God's way. Everyone.
Don't forget, Run Joe.
Ah, boy.
We at it again. Impact. We at it again. Impact. We at it again.
Run Joe.
Impact. We at it again. Impact. We at it again. Impact. We at it again. Impact. We at it again.
I'm no longer reluctant for the things of God.
We at it again.
I'm going after it. Hey, y'all, good night. See y'all later.
Good night. See y'all later.
We at it again.